Okay, we're going to start with some keyboarding basics here. You can see that I have my Microsoft WordPad document open. I'm going to click inside of it so you can see my blinking cursor there. So we are all ready to type. Now, you want to put your fingers on the home row keys. These home row keys are very, very important. This is where your fingers live, and if you want to be efficient at typing, you will get very used to this. So I'm going to strike the keys as I place my fingers on them. I take my left hand, put my pinky finger on the A, ring on the S, middle on the D, pointer finger on my F, and thumb rests on the space bar. Now I'm going to take my right hand. I'm going to place my pinky finger on the semicolon, L right next to it with my ring, middle K, pointer finger on the J, and I'm going to hit my space bar. Both thumbs are on the space bar. Now, this is where your fingers live, and I'm going to just run through those keys with my fingers, starting with the left and moving to the right, space bar. And then I start from the outside, move to the inside, space bar. Now, I want you to go through and practice these right now with me. These little exercises get your fingers used to where they should be on the keyboard. And just pretend that your fingers are glued to these keys. If you get used to having them here, you will remember where all the keys are on the keyboard and which finger hits them in no time. And eventually it becomes something where your brain just automatically does it. You're not even thinking about where these keys on the keyboard are. All right, so I'm still running through here, and let's just do one more time. Spacebar, semicolon, LKJ, spacebar. Now you see that I got through one whole line, and my computer automatically moved my text down a line for me. That is because I have my margins set up. Now, if you can see, we've got the ruler up here where my mouse is. It will not let me go into this gray area here. I don't want to print outside of that gray area, so I'm not going to type outside of that gray area. And if you look on this other side here, these are where those margins are set up, and we can move the margins, and that's something we can teach you later. But this is called text wrapping, where it gets to the end of the line, it wraps the text down to the next line to keep it within those margins for you to keep your page nice and printer friendly. So I'm going to keep my fingers on those home row keys. I'm going to run through my little practice one more time here. And the next thing I want to show you is if you move your fingers off of these keys at all, you want to bring them right back. So if you look in between your hands, you will see in between your pointer fingers there is a G and an H key. So with your left hand, your pointer finger, move it from the F to the G and back to F. And we're going to space. So G, F, space. G, F, space. Pointer finger, thumb. G, F, space. Couple more. All right. Now the same thing with your right hand and the H key. So H, J, space. H, J, space. Pointer finger, thumb. Pointer, thumb. Okay? Your finger wants to come back to that home row key. All right, excellent. Now this, again, holds true for any keys that you strike. So I'm going to take my pointer finger on my right hand, stretch it up, hit the U, and come back down to the J. It's the same thing with any key. All right, excellent. Now, I'm going to teach you a few more keys on the keyboard that aren't the letters. So if you look to the right of your right hand, you're going to see the Enter button. The enter button does a lot of different things, but when you're typing in a Word document, the main thing that it does is it moves your cursor where you're going to insert text down to the next line for you. So instead of wrapping the text around, let's say right now I want to go to the next line. Maybe I'm starting a new paragraph in my typing. I'm going to reach my pinky key from the semicolon, reach my pinky finger over on my right hand, hit enter. Now I'm going to run through my home row key practice there, and I'm going to reach my pinky over, hit enter. Home row key practice, and I'm reaching over, hitting enter. Home row key practice, reaching pinky over, hitting enter, bringing it back to the semicolon. And one more time. Excellent. Now let's say I've got my typing here and I hit enter and I didn't mean to. I want to go back up to the line and still type on that line. Well, there are a couple ways that you can go back up. The easiest way that I'm going to show you right now is the backspace. So instead of reaching my right pinky over to the enter, I'm going to reach it up and hit my backspace key. It should be 2 keys above the enter. And backspace also deletes text. It deletes the text to the left of the cursor. So if I hit my backspace 1, each time I hit it, it deletes 1 letter or 1 space. So deleting to the left. And if I want to go back up to the line above, I hit backspace 1 more time. Then I can hit my space bar and continue with my home row key practice if I want. Now let's say that I want to go up a line or to the left or right or anywhere within my text just to see it, just to have my cursor there. There are arrow keys on your keyboard. If you look down below your enter button, it should be on the right side of your keyboard. Every keyboard's a little bit different, but you're going to find left, right, up, and down arrows. So if I want to move into the middle of my text here, I can use my left arrow, and I am moving. Each time I hit my left arrow, it moves my cursor into the middle there. Okay, if I want to go up rows, I can hit my up button, and you see that it is keeping the cursor relatively in the same place that it was. It's not moving it to the beginning or the end of the row. If I move down, it's keeping it in the same place within the text. And I can move to the left, I can move to the right with my arrow, or I can move, and this is, if you hold the arrow key down, it moves really fast. So this is a way to cover a lot of ground really quickly if you like. Now I'm getting down to a new row, and with my hands on my home row keys again, I'm just going to type a few small words here. I'm going to type hat, hit my enter there, hat, space, sat, and fat. Okay, I've got my 3 words here. Now let's say that I want to move in between and change the A's to I's so I can get hit, sit, and fit. I'm going to use my arrow back, and I'm going to show you how to use the delete key. Up above your backspace, in that vicinity of your keyboard, you will have a delete key. And remember, I kept on saying backspace deletes to the left. Well, delete deletes to the right. So I'm putting my cursor to the left of my A, and then I'm going to hit my delete key, and it deletes the letter to the right. And then I'm going to hit my I, and I'm going to arrow over to be in front of my A, delete key, hitting the I again, arrow to the left, hit in front of my A, delete, and I'm hitting my I key. And then I'm going to arrow over to be at the end of my row. And I'm going to hit enter. So now I have hit, sit, and fit. And you know how to use your delete, your backspace, and your enter key. Now I'm going to focus on the keys on the side of your left hand. If you look to the left hand, you will see there is a tab button. The tab button is an equivalent of 4 or 5 spaces that would be at the beginning of a paragraph. So I'm going to reach my pinky up on the left, hit the tab button, bring it right back down to the A, and do my home row key practice. And you can hit the tab anytime you want. You don't have to have it in the beginning of a line. You can have it in the middle of a line if you want equal spacing. Maybe you're making lists or something. So I'm going to reach up, hit my tab, do my home row key practice, tab, home row key practice, and you can see every time I hit tab, it gives me that equal spacing. So I hit my space bar and then tab. Space bar, tab. All right, I'm going to enter down again. So you've got the tab button. There's also, you'll notice on both sides of the keyboard is your shift button. The shift button is a little bit tricky. The rule is if you're hitting the letter with your one hand, you hit the shift key with your opposite hand. And the reason for that is you have to hold down the shift key when you are striking a letter to make it capitalized. So I am going to type the letter I with my right hand. So I need to reach down with my left pinky, hold down the shift key, and reach my middle finger up, hit the I, and now I have a capital I. I was typing in class today. Now I'm going to have a capital W for my next beginning of my sentence. So I'm going to hold the shift key down with my right pinky. So reach down with the right, hold the shift, up with my left ring finger, hit W, and put both fingers back on their home row keys, and then finish. We had a great class. And period. Now I'm going to hit enter again, and we're going to type it a couple more times. So I'm going to hold down shift with my left pinky, up with my middle right finger, I, home row keys, was typing in class today, period. Shift with my right pinky and my ring finger on my left hand, W. We had a great class. All right, enter, and I want you to type it one more time, just practicing getting your shift key with the opposite hand. It really does take a little bit of brain power to get it when you're doing opposite things with both hands at the same time. All right, excellent. Now the last key I want to show you is your caps lock. Now the caps lock is one that you want to use if you are going to type a capital letter more than one. So to get multiple capital letters in a row, maybe you're using an acronym or something where they need to be 5 or 6 capital letters in a row. I'm going to, with my left hand, I'm going to stretch over my pinky, tap the caps lock button. You just have to hit it once to turn it on. This is an on and off switch. It's not like the shift where you have to hold it down. Okay, so caps lock. I was typing in class today. You see, they're all capitalized, and I am not holding down my caps lock. I left my caps lock on. Now I'm going to turn my caps lock off. So reach my pinky over, hit the caps lock button, and I turn it off. We had a great class. Now, the way I got my capital W at the beginning of the sentence was I held my shift down. So I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm going to turn my caps lock on. So reach my pinky over, turn on the caps, and you will see down here on my screen, there was a CAP that popped up. That helps me to know that my caps lock is on. Also, if you look at your actual keyboard, there are little lights above your function keys, and it should be a little A inside what looks like a little locked box. That helps you to know that the caps lock is on as well. And this caps lock can be kind of tricky because, like I said, it's an on and off switch. If you leave it on, and go ahead and type your sentence today, if you leave it on, that can mess up things that are called case sensitive. If you have something case sensitive like a password to your email address, let's say, I'm turning caps lock off. If you have something case sensitive to your email, it's supposed to be lowercase letters, and you have your caps lock on, your email will not accept your password because it wants lowercase letters instead of capital letters. So if you're ever having problems with any kind of password or anything, check to see if that caps lock is on. All right. So now you know how to use your home row keys, your enter button, backspace, delete, shift, tab, and caps lock. And I really recommend that you keep on practicing these. Even if it's something at night where you're sitting at home watching TV with a laptop, you can, during the commercial breaks, just grab your laptop and practice typing during commercial breaks. You will really improve very quickly. Thank you so much.